Good morning, my name is Joanna and I work as an Assistant Marketing Manager for Greenpeace. Greenpeace is a registered charity with a mission in creating a green and peaceful world. We want climate solutions that will help us prosper without damaging the planet. As an organisation, we are very worried about the current debate concerning the existence and cause of climate change and how it is affecting people's pro-environmental behaviours. The current debate, as stated by The Independent 2017, all research on climate change does not scientifically prove beyond all doubt that our greenhouse gases, which also include water vapour, nitrous oxide, ozone and methane, are causing global warming. There are two areas of this debate, one in which some argue climate change is a natural effect. The opposed view claims that climate change has been created through human activities. The first side of the debate, natural causes. A recent study by Cook 2016 shows 3% of climate experts who argues human activity has not been the dominant cause of climate change. Judith Curry, a climatologist, represents this 3% by proclaiming recent data and research supports the importance of natural climate variability and calls into question the conclusion that humans are the dominant cause of recent climate change. This view is supported by other climate scientists who claim climate change is explained by the latest shift in the cycle patterns of a planet's life. A Gallup News 2016 poll shows 35% of Americans not believing that human activity is the primary reason for the increase in Earth temperature. The opposed view states that the primary reason for climate change is caused by human activity. Cook 2016 shows 97% of climate experts argue humans have been the dominant cause of climate change. NASA 2014 also agree with the number of climate scientists who have high confidence that global temperatures will continue to rise. An IPCC report 2014 develops on these statistics and explains why scientists agree. One example showing the effects CO2 has had on climate change throughout the past decade. This argument has managed to reach 65% of Americans who now firmly believe that human activity is the primary reason for the increase in the Earth's temperature. A major area of concern in regards to the impacts of climate change is the topic of air pollution. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas which has had the biggest effect on global warming. Humans have come to rely on fossil fuels to power cars, planes and heating their homes. In 2017, a DEFRA report shows that air pollution has had a harmful effect on human health. London Gov developed on this by showing that it's been proven to lead to respiratory issues. The Royal College of Physicians 2016 produced a report showing that air pollution has contributed to 40,000 premature deaths a year in the UK alone. To understand the effects this debate has had on people's pro-environmental behaviours, we at Greenpeace have focused on two target publics to determine whether pro-environmental behaviours have been affected by their perception on this debate. The first target public we looked at was educated suburban families, looking specifically on their attitudes to climate change in relation to reported transport habits and aspirations. One example shows that 79% of the population are likely to buy a smaller car in the future due to climate change. The next target public we analysed was less affluent urban families. 62% of their population stated nothing would encourage them to cycle instead of using their car. From the findings from the focus group, well-educated suburban families have a clear understanding of climate change and the impact human activity has on this topic. On the contrary, less affluent urban families show a low level of concern and have lack of understanding on how human activity affects climate change. We can see on figure 4, there is a clear increase towards people's pro-environmental behaviours based on their current perceptions of the debate. In order to promote pro-environmental behaviour, we have set out 3 objectives for your research agency to carry out. The first, to understand whether the debate influences pro-environmental behaviour. Second, to investigate whether there is a relationship between level of education and their judgment on the debate. Lastly, to explore whether household income affects pro-environmental behaviour. Thank you so much for listening and for your time. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact me. My contact details follow.